So what had happened was I had moved here to Ecuador, and I met with my landlord, who would become my engineer who built this house. Is a very, very close friend now. But this was the first time we had ever sat down, we would ever met. We were at a cafe, and it was just the two of us. And there was, I'm just going to say ghost because there's not really any other word for it. There was a ghost at the table there with us.
Did you
I
see
had
him or did you sense him? How'd you know?
both. I would say visual, it's probably about 30%, but the feeling, the 70% was, oh my God, this ghost is looking at me. Does anybody else see this? Am I crazy? Who the heck is this? What does it want? And there were no words. He didn't say anything. He was just sitting at the table with us. It was the strangest, weirdest thing. And I never told anybody. I never said a word. So over the next 5 years, my friend had told me that he had a brother who had committed suicide. And I'd heard a lot of stories about his older brother and how he committed suicide when he was younger. And still, I never even thought anything about that. And then 6 months ago, my friend says, I have a niece and she really needs some help. Can you help her? And so I said yes. I was going to give her a plant medicine treatment. She suffered from a lot of depression, just a lot of energetic problems her whole life. And so she ended up being the daughter of the brother that had committed suicide.
Mhm.
Again, I'm not connecting any of these dots. I have nothing whatsoever. So she's here, and as she's going through her treatment, as she's going through her therapy, it was a wonderful experience for her. And she says, you know what? She says, I have always felt like I've been haunted by my dad's spirit. He had actually committed suicide when her mother was pregnant, so she'd never even really met her dad. And she says, I've always felt like his spirit has been attached to me. And she looks at me and she says, she says, my dad has been pushing me to come here to you. She says, my dad met you 5 years ago in a cafe with my uncle. And he knew ever since then that this is the path that we needed for us to heal. And my mind was like, what the literal heck? Like, what the
Mhm.
heck? I had never told anybody that. I didn't even realize who that ghost was in the
Right.
cafe until she said that. There's no way she could have known that. There's absolutely no way she could have known that. I hadn't told a soul. And then he appeared. He appeared. And he just said, I don't know how to let go. I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to let go. And so I had a conversation and I just said, well, you're not you're not helping them here. You're not helping your brothers, you're not helping your mother, you're not helping your daughter. You're actually energetically holding them back. So you need to bless and release. You need to continue on your journey. You have a journey. You have other things that you have to learn and other ways to grow. And he says, well, how do I do that? And I said, well, try doing it in a dream. Try just telling them that you love them, that and you're moving on. And so then he just kind of vanished. Then he just kind of disappeared. And then my friend the next day says, I hadn't told him any of this either. He says, you know what? He says, I dreamed about my brother last night. He says, and I feel like it's going to be the last time because I feel like he's finally moved on.